We are in Léognan, located in the Gravière region, and we are here in our Château Malartic Lagravière. You can see behind me the house. The history began in the 18th century, where the family of the Comte of Malartic were owner of the estate. At that time, the estate was called the Domaine de Lagravière. Lagravière because of the name of the terroir, grave, so gravel. The Comte of Malartic was a very famous man. He was amiral of the King of France, fighting against our great enemy at that time, the English. And as he succeeded very well, there is a town and a river called Malartic in memory of the Count. And for the same reason, the family of the Count decided, in memory of him, to change the name of Domaine de Lagravière to Château Malartic Lagravière. And when my family arrived, we decided to put on the label of our bottles the boat of the Count of Malartic, La Minerve. In 1850, Angèle Ricard bought the estate and built this house and was owner until they sold to Champagne Laurent Perrier. And my family, the Bonny family, took over in 1997. When we arrived in 1997, my father-in-law, Alfred Alexandre Bonny, decided to build some new technical facilities. So the technical facilities have been used for the first time for the 98 vintage. Et donc elle devait voir. Mais il lui restait un peu de veau mori et puis de l'agneau.
Here is a typical terroir of grave. Grave means gravel. The gravel is this type of ground. This is grave. So these stones are what makes the surface very drainful. And the roots go deep to find some water, and the root bring to the surface, to the bunches, all the complexity of the different layers of the terroir. We have 4 different types of terroir here in Malartic. Very dry gravel, as I showed you, means stones with sand on the surface. We have gravel with more clay, and then less gravel and more clay. It fits very well for Sauvignon and for Cabernet Franc. So we always try to plant the best grape variety with the type of terroir we have under our feet. Right now we're already early October, so the color that it's taking in autumn. That's a sign for us that tells us that now the bunches are ready to be harvested, and then the vines are going to go to sleep until next spring. Today we're harvesting a plot of Merlot, and that will then follow an entire process of selection and of vinification to be selected either for the Malartic Lagravière or le sillage de Malartic. Our wines at Malartic Lagravière are based on about 45% of Merlot, about 50% of Cabernet Sauvignon, and 5% of Cabernet Franc. At Malartic Lagravière, of course, we harvest everything by hand. We use little plastic crates, 10 kilos of grapes each, so the bunches are never crushed. So we try to be as delicate as we can, and then the bunch is not touched anymore until it gets to the sorting process later on. Vous étiez sur les pieds, voilà. Ça devrait être bon. Je sais pas ce que tu en penses, mais. So this is a typical bunch of Sémillon. Sémillon is 15% of our wine here at Malartic Lagravière. Also, Sémillon is the latest grape variety we harvest in the whites. We harvest the Sauvignon before. So you see the color is becoming golden, even some brown zones. When it's younger, it's green. So this transformation of color shows that the grape is becoming more and more ripe. So it shows us that we're close to be ready and to harvest this. Oui. Oui. On va essayer So after the harvest, we bring all the little plastic crates into the cellar, We destem the grapes, so we only leave the berries, and then we have an entire process of selecting. Following that, those little berries, clean little berries, fall down into a little container, and then we take that little container to the dedicated vat for the plot where we've been harvesting. All this is quite different from other estates because in other estates we usually use big pumps that can tear apart the skins of the berries. Here, with that system of gravity and of little container moving very gently, the extraction and the quality of the tannins in the wine will be much softer and much more delicate. The berries goes then into the metal or wooden vats. There they will do their extractions and fermentation. The berries will stay 4 to 5 weeks into the vats to become wine. Then we put this wine into barrels. The barrels are French oak barrels. They have a size of 225 liters, means 300 bottles, so they're quite small. After the wine is in barrel, it will stay there for 18 to 22 months. At Malartic Lagravière, we only produce 2 red wines. So you have the classified growth, the Château Malartic Lagravière, and then its second wine that is called le sillage de Malartic. This second wine has the same type of methods. The only difference is that they stay a little less in oak, usually around 14 months, and usually there are younger vines. We also produce 2 white wines. So we have the classified growth white, because we're classified in red as we are in white. So we're classified in both colors. So we have Malartic Lagravière, the classified growth, and we have also the sillage de Malartic in white. So this is a must of Sauvignon that we harvested 5 days ago, and it's in the vat to take thickness from the pulps of the grapes, and then it will go in barrels to be part of our Malartic white. The fermentation will take about 10 to 15 days, and then it'll age for another 10 to 12 months, and after that it will be part of our Malartic Lagravière blanc.
Это ведь тот же производит, а вот эти всякие штопоры, нарзанники, вот эти вот, знаешь,